The WNBA All-Star starters have been announced, y'all. They've been announced. Y'all want to guess who not starting? Hey, listen. Some people don't belong in certain conversations.
And the front court players, Boston, Nafisi Collier, Nika, Satu Sabali, Brianna Stewart, and Asia Wilson. All right. And down here, Boston, Jonquel Jones, Alyssa Thomas.
Angel Reese didn't just fail to make the All-Star starting lineup, she didn't even sneak into the list of reserves despite being one of the most hyped names in the entire WNBA, and after practically begging fans to stuff the ballot boxes, for her the cold, hard truth is impossible to ignore. She racked up a little over 500,000 votes. Which sounds fine until you realize that's a tiny blip compared to the expectations around her. This is the same player Forbes tried to crown as the co-face of the WNBA, putting her right up there next to Caitlin Clark, acting like Reese was already part of the league's royalty, but the scoreboard doesn't lie.
And Angel Reese being the face of the WNBA, you would think Angel Reese is leading the league in votes. Not only is the self-proclaimed Barbie not in the lead, Angel Reese isn't even close to making the top 10.
So, what went wrong here if you support Caitlin in the WNBA All-Star game? Comment down below. Baby goat over baby giraffe. Let's go.
Let's keep it real. Did y'all think Angel Reese was going to be starting? Wait. Don't get mad at me. Why you bringing up Angel? Hey. You don't tell me nothing, because I'm going to tell you something. Listen, man. Them Instagram followers and all that, it don't translate to the court. Y'all not voting, bro. It's as simple as that. These starters are about, you got like fan votes come into play here. Y'all wasn't voting for her like that, bro. Stop it. Just stop.
How does a player with wall-to-wall media coverage, constant viral trends, and an endless flood of highlight packages and tweets end up nowhere near the top of the voting where it actually matters? Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, who's had her fair share of controversy and critics, absolutely destroyed the fan vote with almost 1.3 million votes, nearly triple Angel Reese's tally. This isn't just a disappointing finish for Reese, it's a jarring slap of reality. The deeper you look at how the fans, media, and even other WNBA players cast their votes, the more obvious the gap becomes. Turns out hype and actual respect aren't the same thing.
And we saw from the popularity voting, remember, it wasn't just Caitlin Clark, it was me too. Angel was 13th in the All-Star voting. Well, everything I've been told, she should have been at least second.
Because make no mistake, Angel Reese was everywhere. Just last year, she was the darling of think pieces and sports magazine features, propped up as the next big thing who'd redefine what women's basketball could look like. You couldn't scroll social media without seeing her face. The league certainly leaned all the way into that story. And yet, when it came time for fans to actually show up and vote her into the All-Star game, Reese found herself sitting all the way at 13th place. Not just disappointing, borderline humiliating for someone who's been called the future of the sport. So again, where did all that momentum vanish?
11.3 points and 11.9 boards and a 38.5% shooter at 6'3".
Let's look at the numbers that tell the real story. Angel's averaging around 11.3 points and 11.9 rebounds. The boards look decent at a glance, but her shooting percentage, a pretty ugly 38.9% from the field. That's not just a small dip, that's a noticeable slide from last season. Her rebounding is also down more than a full board per game for someone who stands 6 feet 3 inches in and was supposed to be an unstoppable interior presence. The inconsistency is glaring. Those stats don't scream generational, they barely whisper average starter. And the drop is especially loud when stacked against the giant expectations with her name on them.
So it's been very up and down. All of her numbers, she's over 2 points a game behind last year, and basically a little over a rebound a game down, and that's supposed to be her strong suit.
Meanwhile, look across the league, and it's clear who's dominating the conversation. And the scoreboard, Caitlin Clark didn't just win the fan vote, she obliterated it with about 3 million tallies, leaving Angel's numbers in the dust. Clark's not only filling up the stat sheet, she's leading her squad hitting highlight plays that swing games and packing arenas from coast to coast. In contrast, Angel Reese's stat line isn't keeping up with the noise. So when you see players with less Twitter buzz, but way more reliable production leapfrogging Ree in the All-Star voting, it becomes painfully obvious why fans and analysts have started to rethink where she truly belongs in the league hierarchy. And here's where the All-Star voting process absolutely shreds the illusions. Sure, fans get half the vote, but that other 50%, it comes from people who watch film for a living, the media, and fellow players, the same folks who know exactly what an All-Star is supposed to look like. Angel Reese, she didn't just slip off their radars, she was left off every major media ballot entirely. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark wasn't just picked, she was the unanimous media choice across all 3 official ballots. That's what real respect earned by encore brilliance looks like. Angel's numbers, especially with all the expectations tied to her brand, simply didn't break through.
Same Angel Reese, who has been begging, and I mean begging, people on social media to vote for her? Angel Reese, number 13 on the list.
This gap boils down to the chasm between image and actual impact. Ree has built an enormous following online. The media machine jumped at the chance to market her as the next face of women's basketball. But you can't just be internet famous. In the WNBA, you have to show up night after night and dominate on the hardwood. Her low shooting and declining rebounding prove she's not imposing her will like people thought she would. Every clank shot or quiet single-digit scoring night stands out even sharper under the bright lights of someone billed as the next superstar.
A potential reserve, who would it be? Gabby Williams and Brittany Sykes. So Angel Reese couldn't even squeeze into a reserve spot. And now Megan Hall of USA Today, she left Angel Reese off her All-Star ballot.
Fans notice, players notice, and the media sure as heck notices. That lack of support from peers and journalists isn't random. It's the basketball world telling Angel Reese that hype alone doesn't cut it anymore. The press helped inflate her into the next big story, but the actual gameplay hasn't delivered now. That gap is being exposed everywhere, from Twitter memes to the official voting charts. So seeing her sit at 13th in the All-Star rankings isn't just a product of a couple bad nights. It's the result of not living up to the standards she, her fans, and a lot of writers help set.
I know a lot of people are going to be mad. I seen a bunch of people on Twitter crashing out. I saw you on Twitter crashing out, talking about the fan voting is rigged and all of this stuff, man. It's just, come on, man. Y'all got to stop. Y'all have to stop with the nonsense, bro. Just because your favorite player didn't get in, don't mean that it's rigged.
The All-Star flameout sends a bigger message. Today's WNBA fans, the insiders, the entire community, they want more than flashy interviews and sassy social clips. And here's where the comedic irony hits hard. Reese didn't just hope fans would vote. She literally campaigned for it. She was online urging people to cast ballots for her, almost pleading at times, and that made the blowout even more brutal. Her push didn't convert. Fans didn't just shrug, they actively chose others. When you're shooting under 40% and I can't even sniff the top 10 after rallying your base, it's a pretty loud reality check. That clout doesn't equal All-Star credibility.
We have 3 different sports media figures that have released their All-Star ballots, and Angel Reese is nowhere to be seen. She's not involved.
Even the press, which once fawned over every quote and outfit, didn't circle the wagons to save her. Sports journalists, who once wrote glowing columns about Angel Reese's cultural impact, had no choice but to quietly leave her off their ballots. Look at Megan Hall from USA Today, who spent months championing Ree as a league game changer. Even she left Angel completely off her list.
This probably means she will not be a starter in the All-Star game, which would make sense because Angel Reese shouldn't be a starter for a regular season game.
The bottom line, you can build a monster following, grab headlines, and get called the face of the sport by magazines all day long. But when it's time for the fans, players, and media to pick who actually deserves to be an All-Star, it's all about production, leadership, and winning impact. Caitlin Clark brought all that along with nearly 1.3 million votes and a league that's Now soaring in TV ratings, merch sales, and sold-out crowds. Meanwhile, Angel Reese got the spotlight handed to her on a silver platter and proved that you can't fake it when the ball tips off. This All-Star result, it's the basketball world's not-so-subtle way of saying, step up your game or your headlines don't mean a thing.
The mainstream media has been trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star. Some in the media even do investigative journalism and claim that Angel Reese is the face of the WNBA because she leads the league in followers on social media, along with missed layups and a complete lack of athleticism.
This is really where the whole shiny image of Angel Reese started to completely unravel. For months, the media sold us on the idea that she was unstoppable, a force that would reshape the WNBA overnight. But then reality hit, and it hit hard when it came time for actual fans, coaches, and fellow players to cast their votes. Reese's name fell flat. Sure, it seemed like she was everywhere on Instagram and Twitter, trending with every soundbite and outfit post. But when it counted most, the support simply wasn't there. Turns out the hype might have looked massive from the outside, but it didn't run deep enough to catapult her into the all-star spotlight.